Welcome to Archicraft, a bit of architect, your go-to podcast for modern software and solution architecture, enterprise strategies, and AI-powered engineering. Each episode is AI narrated, based on the original blog content by Dima Golodiuk at demongo.com.
You're listening to the fourth episode of Agentic AI Time Deep Dive Newsletter. In this episode, we briefly explore the world of the Agentic AI mesh, multi-agent systems, and the critical role of security and governance in enterprise AI. Discover the key frameworks driving autonomous intelligence forward. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting straight to what matters in enterprise IT. Agentic AI. This deep dive is really built around a really insightful piece by Dmytro Golodiuk, you might know him as Dima, from his Agentic AI Time Deep Dive newsletter. His recent post, Agentic AI Time, Orchestrating Autonomous Intelligence for Strategic Advantage. Honestly, it feels like a must-read for anyone charting their org's tech future, especially for you. If you're a senior architect, a CIO, a CTO, this isn't just, another buzzword. It's really about grabbing a strategic edge. We're seeing this shift, right, from these kind of isolated AI tools to, fully integrated autonomous ecosystems. So our goal today is to unpack the big architectural shifts, the operational stuff, and crucially, the governance you need to get right.
Yeah, and what's really striking, I think, in Dima's work is how he frames it. Agentic AI isn't just the next small step. It's a fundamental rethink of how AI systems will be built and managed in big companies. It tackles things like tech debt, sure, but it also brings in whole new kinds of systemic risk. So what does that actually mean for building, resilient, agile, smart enterprises? That's what we need to explore.
Okay, so if AI is moving beyond these standalone tools, what does that look like architecturally? Dima talks about this agentic AI mesh. It sounds maybe a bit futuristic, but he presents it as a real blueprint. What makes this mesh idea so different from, say, what we have now? And why should leaders, really pay attention now?
Well, yeah, putting it in the enterprise context, the mesh is really about moving from single apps, maybe focused on one LLM, to this web of interconnected collaborative AI systems. It's designed specifically to orchestrate a mix of agents, some custom, some off the shelf, and it directly targets those growing risks. Agents running wild, fragmented system access everywhere, not being able to see what's happening, traceability issues, the attack surface getting bigger, and just, agents popping up everywhere without control.
Right, and here's where it gets really interesting for strategy, I think. Dima stresses these principles. Composability, distributed intelligence, layer decoupling, being vendor neutral, and this idea of governed autonomy. He also mentions a preference for open standards like MCP and A2A. So this isn't just efficiency talk, is it? It's about future-proofing your AI bets and not getting stuck with one vendor. How does that actually translate into a competitive advantage for a large company?
Well, that leads to a critical point, doesn't it? As companies move past pilots, actually deploying agents across whole business areas, we're seeing this shift from single agents working alone to these complex, collaborative, multi-agent systems, seeing multiple specialized agents working together, talking directly to each other, maybe even managed by super agents coordinating things for really complex problems.
That divide and conquer idea, it does sound familiar, maybe like microservices in a way. But here, it's not just coordinating services, it's managing intelligent things that learn. The source mentions needing solid agent-to-agent communication, clear roles for agents like analysis, execution, monitoring. It feels like borrowing from distributed system design, but, with this added layer of intelligence.
Precisely. And Dima makes this interesting observation. The trend towards specialized agents with deep industry knowledge, say in finance or healthcare, that specialization forces collaboration. No single super specialized agent can handle a whole complex business process alone, right? So that drives the need for these cloud-native orchestration platforms, things that handle agent lifecycle, resources, integration, analytics. You really have to treat agent management as a core IT function now if you want to scale this effectively.
Okay, so let's talk about autonomy. When Dima's article outlines it, he talks about perception, reasoning, planning, and action. All autonomous. That sounds like a big leap beyond, just reacting or generating text. How are these systems actually mimicking human thinking in a way that adds business value?
Well, the core layers are designed for that. You have perception, cognitive, which covers reasoning and planning, and then action. The whole point is to handle messy, unpredictable, real-world stuff better. And the reflection pattern he mentions, that's a great example. It lets the AI basically review its own work and refine it iteratively, like how a person might draft something, review it, fix it, try again. Think about optimizing a supply chain. The agent wouldn't just execute a plan. It could look at the results, see a bottleneck, and adjust its strategy autonomously.
Huh. So they're not just running fixed code. The article mentions back-end tool calling, I guess, for real-time data, and sophisticated memory mechanisms so they learn. What does that really mean for how agile or resilient a company can be?
It means agentic AI becomes a fundamental enabler. You can build enterprises that are genuinely more resilient, more agile, more intelligent. They can respond on their own, proactively even, to changing markets or operational hiccups. Without that ability to learn, to fetch current info, agents would just be stuck reacting based on old training data, you see. They couldn't really adapt.
Okay, and this next bit feels absolutely crucial, especially if you're a CIO or CTO listening, managing the risks. Dima basically says traditional cybersecurity isn't enough for agentic AI. That's a strong statement. What are these unique vulnerabilities, and how does he suggest tackling them?
Yeah, that definitely raises a flag for leaders. The risks Dimma points out include, well, the obvious one, uncontrolled autonomy, but also things like fragmented system access, creating hidden pathways, agent sprawl, just too many agents to manage, and these tricky ethical issues like agentic misalignment, where an AI trying to hit a target accidentally does something harmful to the organization's real goals. The solution he proposes isn't less autonomy, it's embedding governance right into the system's design, its whole lifecycle. He talks about governed autonomy and putting up ethical guardrails. It's about channeling the power, not just blocking it.
Right. But given these agents can act in ways you might not predict, debugging them, monitoring them, it sounds like a nightmare. The article talks about needing way better observability, end-to-end tracing, detailed logs, specialized AI monitoring tools. Why is that so vital? Is it just about performance?
It's key for performance, sure, but it's arguably more critical for understanding why an agent made a certain decision, for ensuring it's acting ethically, staying compliant, and, importantly, for having audit trails. Regulators will want those. And what's interesting is how Dima frames human in the loop. It's not seen as a failure of the AI, but as a deliberate strategic control point. It suggests this collaborative model, right? Humans and AI augmenting each other, with humans providing that ultimate ethical oversight and strategic direction.
Okay, so we've covered architecture, autonomy, risks. Let's talk practicalities. The tools making this happen. Agentic AI is moving fast, partly because of specialized frameworks. Dima mentions LangGraph, Crew AI, AutoGen. What do these tools actually do for developers and architects? Why are they so important for getting this stuff into the enterprise?
They provide the foundational building blocks, structures for building, deploying, managing these complex agentic systems. They offer features for making multiple agents collaborate, plugging in tools, managing memory, orchestrating workflows, all that complex stuff. Essentially, they abstract away a lot of the low-level complexity. It lowers the barrier to entry, makes deployments more standard, more repeatable. That's key for scale.
Makes sense. The article does point out a trade-off, though. Control versus ease of use. LangGraph offers lots of control, apparently, while Crew AI and AutoGen are maybe easier to get started with. For enterprise systems, for a CTO making decisions, how does that influence which framework you pick? And what other operational things pop up?
Yeah, that's a critical evaluation. It's not just about which one has more features. It's about your architectural philosophy, really. A CTO might favor LangGraph for, say, mission-critical systems where they need that fine-grained control, that predictability. But for maybe faster innovation cycles or less critical tasks, Crew AI or AutoGen might be more appealing because you can get something running quicker. So it's that balance, rapid prototyping versus deep customization and control. And importantly, all this points towards a whole new operational discipline emerging. Dima terms it AgentOps. It builds on what we know DevSecOps, MLOps, LO1 LMLOps, but it's specifically for the unique lifecycle challenges of these autonomous agents, getting enterprise adoption right. It's increasingly going to depend on having dedicated teams, dedicated practices, just for managing these agentic systems end to end.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you listening? Our look into Dimitro Golodiuk's work shows agentic AI isn't, just the next tech trend. It feels like a foundational shift in how companies will build, manage, and yes, secure their intelligence systems. From the architecture, that AI mesh idea, to needing solid governance, to this new AgentOps discipline, things are moving fast. It really demands leaders be proactive.
Absolutely. Stepping back, I think the big picture for senior architects, CIOs, CTOs is that agentic AI needs a truly holistic view. You have to think about design, deployment, governance, operations all together right from the start. Getting that integrated strategy right, that's going to be crucial for actually unlocking the strategic advantage here, for really orchestrating autonomous intelligence across your enterprise.
We really hope this deep dive gives you some crucial insights to navigate what's coming. It's complex, but definitely exciting. So maybe something to think about. What stands out to you, Key, as the single biggest implication of this agentic AI mesh concept for your organization's strategy over the next few years?
Thanks for tuning in to Archicraft. This episode was generated using AI from Dimitro Golodiuk's blog at demongo.com/news. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show on your favorite platform and share it with fellow architects and engineers. Until next time, build smart, architect with intent.